Guys, today I have appeared in front of you with a new topic, and it is really a very unique topic because people from different corners ask me why should we learn English? Why should we know how to read, how to speak, and how to write English? And this is a very pertinent question, obviously, and I give them answers as follows. What are the answers? First of all, it is a global language. First of all, it is a global language. The people of about 53 countries and about 400 million people speak, read, and write English all over the world. And it emphasizes the truth that English is a global language and it has its own importance. Okay? My second point that I discuss with them, that there is a proverb, the British sun never set. The British sun never set. It means the British ruled almost all the countries of the world, and automatically or naturally they spread their culture, their language, education, dress, and even food habit in the colonies they ruled. And the education they tried to introduce to those colonies were obviously based on or was obviously based on English language. However, gradually but inevitably, English became their own language, the language of those colonies, and it replaced all other languages for communication, business, and education. And if you think of English today, you see that nowadays science, aviation, computers, diplomacy, tourism, all depend upon English language. My third point is flexibility of the language. English language has its own flexibility. It is the key to the success of English language for being a global language. You know that English has become gradually a global language because this language has its own flexibility. The British have borrowed from all languages. The British have borrowed from all languages, especially from French, Latin, German, Sanskrit, whatnot. From all languages they have borrowed. However, French language dominates English language. Sometimes they have changed their pronunciation and accentuation, intonation, etc. And sometimes they have retained the pronunciation. The English had only the word breakfast, that is the food taken in the morning after getting up from bed. That is breakfast that breaks the fasting of the night. And they would have to starve had they not borrowed from the French language, that is lunch, dinner and supper. Lunch, dinner and supper, all these three words are borrowed from French. And Sparson has commented that the British would have to starve had they not borrowed from the French language lunch, dinner and supper. It is a very humorous or jovial comment or remark. Latin and Greek have been invited in medical science. Latin and Greek have been introduced to medical science. The word pedal has been coined from podo, that is leg. The Sanskrit word mother from matri, and the Sanskrit word pitri is the root of father. Father, it's a disyllabic word and the accent has been given on the first syllable, father. Then you see that they have even borrowed from Bengali language. For example, handi, lathi. For example, police. The police have lathi charged over the mob. Lathi charged over the mob. So, lathi is noun and lathi charge is verb. Dacoit, that is robber, that is dakat, etc. from Indian language, especially from Bengali language. Because Kolkata was their ruling point, was their kingdom, or was their capital under the British rule at first. English has a clear tense system. Please follow why English has been cordially accepted by the people all over the world. English has a clear tense system which helps people to understand the language very easily and without any confusion. All the three tenses, present, past, and future, have four forms, indefinite, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. Therefore, English has replaced all the languages having confusing and difficult tense system. Okay? Another point that I want to discuss with you is morphological shortenings. Okay? Morphological shortenings is the key to the success of English language. As for example, bus for omnibus, and the opposite of which is minibus. Photo for photograph, etc. So, morphological shortenings are also the main characteristic of English language. Then come to the point masculinity. Masculinity is or has made this language very attractive and stronger than any other language. For example, while a Frenchman will say, I will take a cup of tea, an Englishman or a British man will say, I will take a cup of tea. Because in English, a T is a T and K is a K. So it has its masculinity, and the feminine grace has been compensated, more than compensated, by the virile strength of English language. Okay? For example, an Englishman will say thanks. A British will say thanks, while an American will say thank you. An Indian will say thank you. So, it is called businessman-like language. They will never say thank you. They will say thanks. Germanic origin of English, there are many words which are of Germanic origin. However, grammar, English grammar governs this language to such an extent that this language is able to make good, polished sentences. For example, two or more than two simple sentences can be combined into one simple sentence by using various methods. For example, participle, absolute phrase, infinitive, preposition plus noun, and preposition plus gerund, adverbs and adverbials, noun in apposition or phrase in apposition. All these are the methods by which we can combine two or three or four simple sentences into one simple sentence. So, there are concrete grammatical rules. For example, Complex sentence can be framed by using noun clause, adjective clause or relative clause and adverb clause. And each clause has its own rules. For example, noun clause, subject to the verb, object to the verb, complement to the verb, complement to the preposition, and noun in apposition or phrase in apposition or case in apposition. Clear? Adjective clause or relative clause and adverb clause, manner, adverb clause of manner, place, time, condition, contrast, comparison, etc. And compound sentence. Two or more than simple sentences can be combined into a compound sentence by using and, so, therefore, but, etc. However, let us complete here tonight, and I think that you have understood clearly, unambiguously, and in a straightforward manner why people all over the world like this language. At the time of interpersonal communication, intrapersonal communication, and even mass communication, English is unparalleled. Unparalleled. And all the people of almost all the countries of the world can understand this language because of its strains, because of its flexibility, because of its masculinity, because of its grammatical rules, which are clear-cut rules. Thank you very much. Let us stop here. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, comment, share, etc. Good night.